everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm gonna do a bit of a hero guide, this time on another rare, also called Forest Dweller, Enna. So yeah, this is the ironic part. My very first and only other proper just focus on one hero guide so far was Eli, a rare Forest Dweller. Now my next one, Enna, a rare Forest Dweller. I really hate that they still have these titles because people have been like, oh, should I bring up Forest Dweller? And these two heroes are very different heroes, so the answer could be very different depending on your team. But yeah, I'm still having lots of fun with my very first rare, which was also my first level 100 character. Kind of regretting the level 100. I might stop at like 98, 99 next time. It's just so expensive. But like the OCD side of things, right? Not that I'm super OCD about things, but it might drive me a little crazy not seeing 100 and when it's a big 99. I'm like, just make it max, right? Anyway, okay. But today we're talking about Enna. So I actually want to talk about her and how I use her and how I've kind of slotted her in for different roles. And of course, just about building her and stuff in general. So let me just move myself maybe up here. Let's move myself into the sort of in the corner, but at the top. Why not? All right. So we're going to talk about Enna, Forest Dweller. She is a lightning hero, which synergizes with necrotic. Now, I do feel like when it comes down to pushing through some content, as much as the elemental affinity damage bonus, could be amazing, you don't need it all the time. We've certainly realized, right? And honestly, the support side of things, sometimes you just need more help. You need more cleansing. You need more healing. You need more shields. You need something else for survivability to push you through hard content. And that's where Enna has come in for me. So personally, my core team was around the poisons and ice. My adventure as ice smacks hard, does great damage. It's quite impressive, honestly. But that does help having this artifact as well. I'm finally starting to get that legendary gear rolling on my account, so that's exciting as well. Not quite perfect yet, but we're getting there slowly but surely. And I was having trouble, like, all right, my main DPS is a poisoner. He only does damage so fast. He's not perfect, but he does a pretty good job, all things considered. Obviously, I would expect legendaries to be a lot better. I would hope that a rare isn't as good as a legendary at the end of the day. And you know what? There's just times where, sure, I'm doing okay in a dungeon, but not good enough to where I could take the boss out fast. Oh, hey, congrats on someone getting a legendary as I'm recording from the horn. Anyway, and I feel like what I ended up needing was more survivability, because if you just try to bring in more damage and take out my supports, it wasn't good enough. Like, okay, Corin and Eli are giving me poisons, but it's not enough for some stages, so I wouldn't be able to kill the boss fast enough to where they didn't kill me, and I just needed more support. And Enna was the answer for a lot of situations, because you know what? I might have a decent healer and reviver, but she kills herself. And not every battle Fruboth can heal her if she's the only healer besides him, because sometimes he just goes up to the boss and he's out of range to heal her. So I needed someone else. Now, Hexandra can also be an option, but we're going to talk about why I chose to go Enna over Hexandra as well. So, all right, here's the deal, right? It's this. It's her ultimate. So Enna grants recovery over time to all allies for 10 seconds and dispels one debuff from them. It's this cleanse that really makes her shine. And I mean, we have stuff here. What is hers? This one is heals an ally and dispels one debuff from them. But that's a single target. We need an all allies, and it's on a rare. It's super helpful. And you know there's plenty of situations with these dungeons where there's some pretty powerful debuffs that just destroy you. So we're gonna talk about this. So first of all, her ultimate, we're talking about that, right? Recovery over time. It's heal. It's restoring HP over time. And one thing I have found, thanks to Odd One Gaming, who's playing with Enna, and another hero that does recover over time, he did clarify to me that that does stack. So you can actually use two heroes like her and Megan, that was a necrotic, that have recovery over time, and that can stack and give you even more healing over time. So that's really nice to know. If you're like, oh, I already have someone that does recover over time, she's pointless. Not so pointless. It's really going to help. So this is a decent heal. All right, and then we have grants hit recovery to an ally for 10 seconds. This is a battle skill. Unfortunately, we can't manual battle skills, so that's a big bummer. I literally started saying, oh yeah, manual it. No, we cannot manual it. Unfortunately, I wish we could. Sometimes it would be nice to make sure you're using this on the correct person, but that might come down to positioning, and that's something you have to find the right synergy with your team and experiment, honestly, right? All right, and her passive here restores max HP when taking damage that exceeds 25% max HP. So she restores 15% of her HP after she gets a 25% or more smack. So that's really helpful as well. But really, it comes down to this ultimate about what makes Enna great. So let's talk about enhancing her. All right, lovely Enna here. So I did go ahead and fully book her. I feel like she's absolutely worth it. Having extra healing plus the energy help means she's going to come back to this skill more often and require less energy to do it in the first place. So we definitely want that. We want to make it easier to perform her ultimate. And same thing here, the more often she's helping to support her allies, the better. So any recharge time decrease, absolutely helpful as well. So it really didn't take that many books. She's a very simple, just six, most of these heroes are like 6 to 8 books to book them up. And she's definitely worth it because you can slot her into other teams. So that's going to be the same for like Hexandra. A lot of people still heavily use Hexandra, which as you can see, I'm actually leveling up mine as well. She's level 79. I'm going to get her going as well because there are times when I prefer Enna and Hexandra over my epic healer reviver because she kills herself and she really can't stay alive long term. She's only good for things like Arena where people might die and she has enough time to use her ultimate before she gets killed herself. But long fights are just not good for Sifris. Really long fights like Vortex, she ends up being the first person to die, which kind of defeats the purpose of a reviver. So Enna here honestly has been more useful on my account than Sifris. I've kind of benched her for everything except Arena, and she's come into play. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm using her the most, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But pretty much, oh wait, let's talk about gear, right? Let's talk about gear, hold on, and gear and artifacts. So when it comes to gear for Enna, I actually realized I didn't have the right one on her for one, and I didn't even have one that was probably well suited. I think at the end of the day, even though she doesn't need accuracy, unfortunately, I think this ultimate energy spiritual incense burner might be the best option for her because she's dealing with buffs. She's not like a direct heal like Hexandra, right? She's not like heals your allies by X% of HP. No, she's putting on a buff that does a continuous heal. So I think that in this case, because of Enna's value as a cleanser, which is her ultimate skill, my number one priority for Enna is skill haste to be able to use her ultimate and battle skill as much as possible. And again, ultimate energy that goes along with that. So I think the spiritual incense burner is a pretty good pick for an epic artifact to use for her. So I was actually on her and looking at her gear. You probably noticed I had the mirror on her, but I need to move that mirror to Hexandra because you know what? She at least has a proper normal heal. But is that really helping Enna to heal extra allies? No, it's a buff. It's not a normal heal. It's a continuous heal buff. So I think we have a new artifact here that I need to put on my Enna. I just hadn't thought of that yet because since I last purchased my artifacts, I had different heroes in mind. But now it was time to find the correct one for Enna. And I think this one is going to do us well. So let me go ahead, at least put that to level 4. I definitely need to increase that one soon. I'll do that next. But other than that, I think for a character like her, all right, other gear-wise, you're going to be looking for obviously just survivability. She's your healer. You need to keep her alive to heal everybody. But you should also be looking for resistance. Now, I wish I had, I don't think I've got it yet. No, I really want a resistance rune, honestly, because I really think that's going to be the best value. I could also go with a resistance chest here if I had a good one, maybe. No, I mean, this is okay, but I would get rid of my skill haste. I actually am using this right now because of the skill haste. It's not like she needs accuracy, but she needs skill haste, and I really think that could be helpful. You also could use one of these, I mean, not attack speed. You could use this. You could use the Goblin Brawler gloves that give attack and skill haste. Then she's gonna do some damage, help her do a little bit of extra, just basic damage while she's improving her skill haste, the regeneration rate. So if you guys don't realize, skill haste here reduces the cooldown time of battle skills and ultimate skills. Current cooldown reduction is 1%, not that much. I need to get more skill haste on her. But that's one of the most valuable parts, I think. So down here on these runes, I think for Enna, you're looking for resistance. If she's going to be the one to cleanse debuffs from your allies, you can't let her be crowd controlled, right? What if she's stunned? What if she's frozen? What if she's charmed? You don't want that. She's the one who needs to prevent that from everyone else. So she should have high resist, high HP, and high skill haste. Mine is far from perfect. I am finally starting to farm some better gear. And as you can see, when it comes to the legendary gear on my account, I have not started farming that for sake of the more support side of things. So we'll have to work on that. But right now, I'm just using what I got, and she is helping pretty well. I was using her at only level 70, and I found her so valuable that I decided to take her to level 90. So that's pretty much it when it comes to gear. I don't think it's a matter of you have to use a certain set. It's just more get the stats. And if it takes using an attack set to get extra skill haste because you're taking advantage of that skill haste bonus, I think it's all about coming back to her ultimate as much as possible and being able to do her ultimate in the first place, aka not being crowd controlled, so having resistance. All right, so I'm going to take her in and show you guys where I'm using her here. So for me, I am using her in my farming, my farming of Grave of Venom. I'm just farming stage 7 because it's more consistent. I have a baby team of rares, all right? I have rares and epics. I think I am using my legendaries as well. Oh, no, I'm not. This is a rare and epic only team. I am getting rid of my 5-person synergy just to put her in there. And the reason for it is the extra healing, number 1, but also helping to keep my tank alive. My tank doesn't have enough resistance to take off, or prevent, I should say, to prevent that terrible decreased defense debuff, which is going to make him take a bunch more damage. So as you can see, she is going to dispel the debuffs from him. He's going to get the decreased attack, the decreased defense from these orbs, right? There it is. And dispel. Ready? Dispel debuff. We just got rid of it. So they had just placed the decreased defense debuff on my tank, and perfect timing, she went right in there and she dispelled it. That's huge for survivability on the guy that's taken most of the damage, right? He's getting all these debuffs. He's taken the most hits from like the orbs and everything else as well. And she's going to help keep my tank alive because she's going to get rid of this really annoying debuff that's going to cause him to take more damage. Plus, she's just going to keep everyone alive with these extra continuous heals, which, as I mentioned, do stack. So that really does come in handy. My team is far from perfect here, though. I really do need a little bit more survivability, but the more I farm gear, the better we're gonna be, the better stats are gonna be, and I'm gonna have better options. It's really nice to be farming stage 7, and of course I want to farm stage 8 and 9, and I'll get there as I get better gear and get a little bit more level 99, 100 characters. But for now, Enna is just been a huge help for something like this. This is a really great example. Now, the other example for using Enna would probably be where you might slot her in just for her value for her ultimate alone. Would probably be Fire the fire dungeon for farming our fire and radiant ascension crystals, right? So that boss puts the burn debuff on your allies, and my goodness, it smacks. There is some major damage that makes getting to the high levels, doing 4 and 5 is pretty hard. Unless you got an amazing squad of perfect heroes, right? Or some great legendaries thrown in there. And little Enna is a great addition to the roster for the fire dungeon. If you're trying to farm up to be able to rank up your characters, you're probably gonna need her or so, and maybe even another. Honestly, I feel like that boss requires 2 cleansers, not just 1. So for me, it might be the case where I probably would get rid of in this team, if I was gonna go farm fire. I might get rid of Cypherus, because I can't believe she's still alive, honestly. Enna's a big reason for that. But I would probably take out Cypherus and put in Hexandra, just as another form of an extra little cleanse in there. So I'm actually really finding high value for these rares, which is really nice. And she really does slot in if you're doing any sort of team, whether it, even honestly, guys, even honestly, the dragons, right? Yes, this was my team here. Enna, little Enna here, was a big part of helping me be successful. She's bringing tons of heals, she's bringing cleanses, she's just really great. And then if I think I might make my... I don't know, I'm trying to think, did I use my adventurer as lightning or frost for this? I don't remember. But these battles are hard, and X support, I think, is so important in this game. But I do think we're very lucky in that we have great rares and commons that can be support. You have Enna, we have Hexandra, and we have where's the other rare? Even him, Corion. He's not so bad for support, and even the common, right? Imperial Warrior. That's who it is, right? Yeah. She has 25% max HP heal for all allies. Now, it's a small grouping area, so depending on your battle, that may or may not be the case if your champions are going to be grouped together. But if it's a situation where they do stay in a little clump, she's going to be amazing. And she's a common character, the lowest tier possible, and she does like one of the best heals. So it's just a small range. So I'm really glad that the game has given us options overall for the sake of healing and support that are not 100% like you must have the best legendary in the game. And it's just gonna be slower. Like for me, am I doing all the top level dungeons? No. But that's because I did choose to focus different characters. And even if I focused him first, or her first, Sutha, she's not the only answer. Like, she's not enough. Her alone is not gonna get me through all the top dungeons. So it's not, even though legendaries are OP, hold on to that value of these rares. And just because you see blue, don't mean you shouldn't try building them. If you know that they fulfill the role you need on your team, give the girl a shot. She's actually pretty damn helpful. And I think you'll find you'll push through some content where you've been stuck if you try to build her up. Try to build Hexandra up. Just I think she's a bit stronger overall because the overall cleanse is an all allies, and that's the whole map. It's not just a one-person cleanse. But there's probably going to be situations where you say, screw 5-person affinity, let's just do 3-person affinity, and maybe you're going to use both of these rares on your team. So just throwing some love out for these characters because I do have other legendaries I could build. But here I am still choosing to build a rare over them because that's the role that I need most. I need more healing, I need cleansing. Boom, she's got me covered, right? Alright. But that's been all for today's video, guys. I really hope I hope you guys can enjoy and try to have some fun with Enna as well. She has been great to play with on my account, and I'm really, really glad I built her to 90. She might honestly be good enough to where I don't really even need to put her to 99 unless I have trouble with survivability for her overall, which I don't think we're gonna, honestly. I think you could probably leave her at level 90 and you're still gonna be okay. For most content, honestly, that you're gonna need to use her for just support to push through where you're stuck. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Go build your Ennas, push through content. If debuffs are an issue, she might be your answer.